Welcome back to Silver Rebellion. My name is Silverbeard, and today I'm here with Justin, co founder of the Silver Rebellion Telegram channel and community. Welcome, Justin.
How's it going, Nick?
Thanks for stopping by. We're going to do an interview. We want to get your origin story and hear about Silver and from your perspective. So, if you could you just give us a little background on how you got started with the Telegram channel and growing this community?
It started kind of similar to you, how you got into the whole GameStop frenzy and that thing. That was kind of where I started with this. I was into the whole short squeeze and reading about all that stuff. And then I came across Wall Street Silver probably in February of that year, right after that whole crash for GameStop. And I thought this was a really great movement, a really awesome thing that these guys are putting together. Always was a fan of precious metals, always dug that as opposed to fiat currency. From there, I decided to reach out to Ivan because it was still relatively small. It was maybe, a couple hundred people, maybe thousand at that on like the Reddit. I messaged Ivan. I was like, hey, I'd love to be a part of like helping this. There's this app Telegram that like a lot of people are using. Can I start a channel for Wall Street Silver? He said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I started doing that. And then I hadn't talked to Ivan or Jim or any of those guys for probably like a year after that. So it was just kind of on autopilot, almost like a separate entity.
That's cool. So sounds like you got the Telegram channel started, kind of loosely associated with Wall Street Silver, and it's just kind of developed into more, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It just kind of just grew on there. I'm not even sure really how. I guess it's just a bunch of other channels started sharing us on Telegram. It kind of just grew our numbers to the point where then Wall Street Silver took notice. They're like, who's this guy who's running the channel? And from there, they reached out to me, and then I had some loose contact with the old admin team up until I guess the two factions of Reddit split, and then kind of became where we are today. And this now leads us into Silver Rebellion and our, I guess, side of the movement.
Very cool. Thanks for that backstory. How long have you been stacking, and kind of what got you into precious metals?
Probably about 6 or 7 years. I was into it just before COVID, maybe. I was always into, I guess, the idea of like something actually tangible, an asset, something that you have that they can't take away, they can't control. I started small, like a broke kid out of college, like you don't have a lot of money. So I, a couple rounds here and there, but then I really started getting serious. I think when COVID happened, and I was like, and seeing like the stimulus checks coming out, and kind of seeing where our country was going to go with inflation and the valuation of our currency. So from there, I just started stacking way more into it, and yeah, then when I came across the Wall Street Silver thing again, that just kind of only doubled my resolve with it.
Yeah, it feels like that COVID era really was a jump start for a lot of us. Watching the paper price go up and down, wondering if we're going to see a collapse in the market. So now that we're here in time, um, where do you kind of see what do you think is going to happen over the next year or so?
For the, I guess, the price of silver, I've made, I guess, predictions. Never like never try to make public predictions or anything like that. I don't want to like sway people's opinions or give financial advice. Obviously, I'm optimistic, hopeful that the price discovery, the valuation of silver will finally, maybe not be entirely there, but will partially come to light. But at the same time, it's hard to tell when there is such, in my opinion, blatant manipulation of the market through paper contracts and all the stuff that we saw with the GameStop saga, now the Silver saga, and all this stuff. So I'm hoping that as we've already seen, I guess this year with the slow increase of silver, I'm anticipating, I guess, more of that, like a slow burn. It's changed definitely from our initial Wall Street Silver days of silver squeeze. Let's see this go to like 2000. It's just that was very hopeful, optimistic, but I guess not how the market really reacts. Yes, I believe the price is going to go up. Maybe it'll go up to into the 40s, maybe it'll hit levels that it hit back in 20, 2011, 2010. Is that when it was at its peak? From there, I guess we'll see. It's kind of this is uncharted territory for everything. It's like the market's never been this, I guess, propped up. Stocks have never been, and the Dow has never been higher. So it's really hard to kind of, I guess, give a adequate assessment.
So a lot of stackers kind of go through that psychological change. Have you had that where you're no longer valuing things in dollars?
Yeah, no, I kind of tried breaking my like taking my head breaking my head away from that thought process of like looking at the dollar as like the not the end goal, but the everyone's working, you're trying to work, trying to make more money, but like really like the dollar is just a financial instrument, it's just a tool, like, and that's how we should look at it. It should be what asset do I own that what are something of value that I actually have. That's where the wealth is coming from. So it was, I guess, over the course of like a year or two, like during that whole COVID time, where like that thought process for me transitioned into viewing this as the money, as the wealth, as opposed to the dollars themselves.
Yeah, I think all stackers go through that little psychological change over time. You know, getting in back into the channel, do you have any thoughts or direction you want to see the channel go? What's kind of on the horizon on your side of things for Silver Rebellion?
So more of what we're doing now, interviewing people, trying to spread the word about silver to people who maybe don't stack. That was kind of one of the things when I first started the Telegram channel for Wall Street Silver, that I didn't want this to be like a political thing, a right versus left thing. I wanted everyone who could look up precious metals or silver or gold or whatever to be able to come there and read about this stuff. It just so happened, I guess, a lot of people who stack tend to be more conservative. It'd be great though if we could reach those other people who maybe are just not even liberal but moderate, who just don't know about this. Like, we've been so indoctrinated into society where we don't people don't look at precious metals, silver, gold, or any of this stuff, palladium, whatever other metals, as something of value. It's just, oh yeah, this is something we mine out of the ground. You put in a ring, and like that's it. And like, no, this is there's so many more applications, from industrial to military, computers, you name it. So my goal for the channel would be to try to spread that awareness to people through interviews, through stuff like that. Other things for the channel though, our goals, our direction with this, trying to have more input from our community, have more people talk about their experience, get people in on the stuff with the giveaways, or with contests, or just anything to kind of, again, spread the word. It's really, that's the biggest thing I think we can do.
Yeah, since we're so heavily in this community already, it kind of feels like everybody should know about silver and gold already, right? But really, that's kind of just like a bias that because of the position we're in, but there's still a lot of people that don't know about gold and silver. Have you had any luck getting family or friends involved? Have you given silver as gifts, or what's your response been from like your immediate family and friends?
My family, most of them don't really see, I guess, the inherent value of it. They're like, oh yeah, like that's cool. It's people buy it, people sell it. They look at it as I think that they're still kind of in that mindset of like, this is an investment, like a stock, and I'm going to sell this eventually for dollars. So like that whole thing, they don't really see it as something to hold for their wealth. As for my friends, yeah, some of them actually kind of got way more interested in this stuff. So it was really great to like kind of see some people who never really gave this a second thought to be getting as interested as I felt I was getting into this stuff.
Just like you, I've jumped in before COVID, and just been learning so much knowledge about the industry and why precious metals are important. All right, so Justin, one big question is, what does Silver Rebellion mean to you?
I think Silver Rebellion means to me just a rejection of the current system that we find ourselves in. Rejecting fiat currency, rejecting government devaluing and debasing our currency, stealing our wealth right from out under us. Whether you put it in a bank or in your mattress or whatever. That's kind of what my image or my vision of it is. I think you and Joe kind of have a similar idea that this is a way for us to kind of break free, a way for us to rebel against currently what's happening in the world and give us a fighting chance to just protect ourselves, protect our wealth from those who wish to take it. That I think is kind of my view of it.
Well said. Yeah, that's I agree with you. That's a good embodiment of the movement. How can the community interact with you? How can they reach out?
X as Justin underscore SLVREB. Same thing on Telegram, same handle. Feel free to reach out, repost, retweet, DM, whatever, if you guys have any questions or any input on what we're doing here. And yeah,
Perfect. Thank you, Justin. Really appreciate meeting with you today. Thank you for leading the way, getting this space started for us, and you've created a great Telegram chat. And happy to be working with you on this project. So with that, thank you everybody for joining this interview today. Stay tuned for more silver giveaways, interviews, and more information from the community. All right, have a great one.
keep stacking, Silver Rebellion.